Over the last 6 months, Music in the Round has been working with the music hubs in South Yorkshire, and we've been working with lots of schools and lots of primary school children to create their own pieces of music inspired by the BBC 10 Pieces project. We're really thrilled to have these pieces by just 4 of the schools we've worked with on film today, and they've been really fantastically creative. So really hope you enjoy it.
We are
St Marie's School,
and we are going to perform our composition
Dynamic Tides.
We worked on Anna Meredith's Connect It. It had lots of different sounds all working together to create a beautiful song.
It was very inspiring because it really it made you want to get up and do it, and I think that's how everyone felt as soon as they first saw it. As we were split up into different groups, we were all sent to separate areas, and we all just came up with our own thing without actually seeing what the other groups have done. So then there was a very big variety of what people had made.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
After each group had come up with something, we went back and decided if what to edit and what to keep the same and where to put each piece. If you looked at the things we had at the beginning and then looked at what we have now, they were very different, and if we had tried to put them the same, they probably wouldn't have worked. So I was quite amazed by that. I like it when we dropped down on the floor and we did the minion shuffle.
I like the bit at the start with the clapping ripple.
My favourite bit was when we did the swimming haka and we all went into lines.
I liked it when we were all doing different moves, and it sounded really good when we all did stuff together, and it made such a brilliant sound.
I liked it where we're all doing different parts, where some people are doing the swimming haka and some people go like that and then stomp their feet on the ground. I liked the bit when we did the clap wave and when we all fell down and it was very silent.
We've been involved in other projects, maybe singing projects or instrumental projects, but I think that this one was a little bit different in that it was reflecting on a composer's piece of music and then building our own composition from that. So yes, it's a bit different this time. We keep hearing that children don't listen to enough classical music, they're not involved in the classics enough, and it's given them a very positive experience of classical music and of composition as well. And it can be quite hard to do composition work in schools, just because of the noise actually and the time. And we've had a focus this time, being able to give them a good appreciation of it. It's been marvellous, and it's lovely to see the children able to create and then bring ideas back together as a group. And just performing in the Crucible is a great thing when you're 10.
We first got involved in the 10 pieces when Music Hub informed us there was going to be a project aimed at Key Stage 2. And I decided it looked so fantastic that we really wanted to get involved in it. So I contacted the BBC and said, does it have to just be for Key Stage 2? We're a special needs school, can we get involved? And they said, certainly we can. Musically, I knew that Night on the Bare Mountain for our children and for the instruments that we had, that was going to be possibly the best choice of piece for us. And then it just was a process of looking online, looking at the BBC resources, which were absolutely invaluable and fantastic, and working out which would work for our particular instruments, and then starting off. The children have been practicing since about November, so solidly for about 5 months, to get that piece in all its complexity together, really.
Night on Bare Mountain is one of my favourite pieces, so it's been great to do an adaptation with the kids here. We do a score, a sort of a basic score, and Judith, the teacher, works with the kids, getting them going. Then I come in and Naomi, the horn player, comes in, and we try to make a piece together. So we had 3 2-hour visits around what Judith was doing. So yeah, it's about 6 hours on the first performance. They've got a fantastic attitude. It always amazes me what these guys can do and how much they remember, and as you saw from the performance, it's all from memory. So the only person reading music is me and Naomi.
It's been one of the best experiences I've ever had, actually, when I've been doing community work. It's been amazing and really, really moving. I feel, as a professional musician, that I've learned something about concentration and focus and playing without music. I had music every time we performed it, but all the students have just remembered everything. As I say, it's been a fantastic experience.
Everybody's valued, everybody's got a single line to play. That's important. It's real chamber music, there's no conductor. You know, they've really got to listen very, very hard and concentrate and be motivated. And I think that's what always constantly delights me about the children I work with, because their motivation to get it right and determination to get it right, when other aspects of their life can be very difficult. Communication can be very difficult. When you're playing a drum, no need for words, is there? And hopefully the music and the arrangement really speaks for itself. It's about lifting them up into their possibilities and getting them to think, actually, we're good at this. We're as good as the mainstream pupils, if not actually better, you know, in lots of ways. It's a real feeling of self-worth, isn't it, for them, to be on an equal footing, perhaps for the first time ever. I'm looking online constantly to see what's happening for the BBC Key Stage 3 next year. Desperate to find out what the pieces are, to see if we can become involved again. Because as a teacher, as an educationalist, it's really wonderful to have something to kind of have a coat hanger on and base things round. If you're a non-specialist, there were resources there to help you with that. I do read music, and I'm lucky I'm an acoustic musician, so I did find that wealth of resources really a good starting point, and I know that there are various pieces there I will use in the future. So it's a bank of resources for me as a professional and as a teacher in school that I'm sure I will use for years and years.
It's been funny. I liked the whole experience. I felt a bit flustered at times, like if I nearly got something wrong, but the important thing is to carry on, because if you mess up, then it's just like it all falls apart. I love it. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel connected to everyone as well. I like you because you're a whole, not just one person in a group.
I really enjoyed it just playing in a group. I've played a metallophone and a tubular bells. I was very nervous because the person who was normally playing the tubular bells suddenly got sick just yesterday. So I had to take that role, and I only had like 10 or 20 minutes to learn it. I think the music went really well, and I hope I can get to play again sometime.
The BBC came to our school and the Philharmonic Orchestra came and involved lots of different year groups, and our part of it was to learn the dance ready for that day. So we learnt the Take 10 Pieces dance and we actually performed the dance on the day in the yard at school. The Year Sixes filmed us as we performed it, and the BBC filmed the Year Sixes filming us.
We did lots of things beforehand. We listened to the 10 pieces, we watched the video, we talked to the children about it, we talked to them about the Philharmonic Orchestra and various things like that, so that we tried to get them involved before the film crew actually came and the musicians came. So it opened up a bit of a world of music, and it sort of, for some of them, it made them want to carry on playing the violin or starting to play other instruments that we've got in school. So really, hopefully it will inspire them to become more involved, so it sort of opens up that opportunity for them.
The BBC came to our school and it was fun because we had some kind of music. We had some Star Wars and some off Willy Wonka and the Charlie Chocolate Factory. We practiced a lot and it took we had like 50 goes, but it took a while. We had to do it a lot of times. We had to go outside and practice on the grass. It was really exciting because I hardly ever do dancing. It's exciting being at the Crucible today because I've never been.
I think the children have really got a passion for music out of the project and just really enjoyed it, so they want to take part in more music events now, which has been great.
It was Mozart's Home Concerto No. 4 that caught the interest of our class when we watched the BBC 10 Pieces film.
I enjoyed the structure of the piece, just having learned about rondos in our music class lessons.
The class decided to use this piece to base our main response to the 10 Pieces project.
This is a Brady Batts rondo based on Mozart's Home Concerto No. 4 with Naomi Appleton from Ensemble 360.
Our children have listened to Mozart's Home Concerto No. 4 and they really enjoyed the way it was a call and response. They loved hearing one part being followed by another. So we did lots of work around questions and answers, we did lots of games, and they decided they wanted to write their own version. They all wrote their own little 4-bar melody, and then as a class they chose the bits they liked best. We played around with it using a computer program, and when they were happy I put a bass line on it and then we started to learn it. The 10 Pieces project has given us a huge springboard into so much more than we could normally do. It's given the children a real exciting way to start their music. It's engaged them, it's got them interested in classical music, which otherwise they'd be a bit, oh miss, you're playing that one again. So it's really got them engaged, which is fantastic.
We experimented with call and response by asking each other questions and seeing if we could play the rhythms of our sentences. Why didn't you tidy your room? Because I fell asleep. Why didn't you tidy your room? Because I was too lazy.
They've been amazing. To consider that they started learning recorders about 2 terms ago, so they've had about 12 lessons, and to know that they can now play 5 notes, they can play a rondo, they know the form of that, and they played together and they sounded pretty good.
I think the BBC 10 Pieces project has brought something really special to many schools, and I think because they've introduced classical music, some really good works of classical music back into schools, things that people would never have heard normally. I've gone into a couple of schools and I've played my horn, and they've seen a horn on the telly playing Mozart Horn Concerto, the 3rd movement, and then I've gone in and they've gone, whoa, that's a French horn. And then they see an instrument that's not plugged into anything, it's not on a TV screen, it's live, and I think they've been inspired by it, and I've been inspired by their reaction.